Legends whisper of a captain who set sail to find an ancient god. Kanaloa was a titan who played ley lines like a harp. His many arms manipulated time to his will. Haunted by the passing of his true love, the desperate captain mapped a course for the darkest depths, determined to use the power of time to bring his beloved back. The captain never returned. Some say he found his true love, others say he died trying. And to this day, legend tempts each adventuring fool to seek out the captain's map of power. But why? Welcome to another Bello's design video tutorial. My name is Linda, and today I'll show you how to create your own map. Hello! Ready to get started? Let's make this paper look old, alright? Grab your distress inks, your distress stains, tea dye that spray all over your paper. Grab the next color, the gathered twigs, and spray again. And then you want to use old paper to spray in the spots you missed. Come back with a little more tea dye and watch it just move. It's awesome. You can stand it up. You want to move it around. And then you're going to get out your craft dryer, and you're going to need some paper towels because you're going to dry and blot and smush and move it around. You want it to look old and really just get some coloring in there and dark spots, light spots. That's actually going to make up the edge for your land when you draw the lines in. Now I'm coming back in with the speckled egg to give it a slight bluish greenish tint, and you can use the craft dryer or not blot and it'll make it darker, or do what I did and blot some of it out. You'll need sponge applicators for this next step, and I'm using speckled egg in the Oxide ink along with scorched timber. The scorched timber is going to be used to create that smoky burnt edge look all the way around. This is optional if you want to do it or not, because later we're going to be edging it with gold, but they do work beautifully together. Then I'm coming in with the speckled ink or speckled egg, ink, and I'm putting those only in a few spots after I go ahead and splatter some water on there, mop it up, do it again after I let it sit a little, mop it up, and then I dry. And after that, you're going to come back in with a Lavinia decorative stamp. Any kind will do. I used that lacy stamp here to create some really unusual patterns. And then what you're going to do is you're going to measure out the lines that create the ley lines on the map. That would be thought of like longitude, latitude, anything like that. But we're going to have a starting point, and from that point where the compass stamp will eventually go, you're going to map out dots along the edges to make them uniform, and then you start drawing. So you draw from that one point to the point that's measured on the edge, and you just keep doing that until you go all the way around. And so now we're going to stamp the compass over that center dot area, and there you go. And see, so you got them all going out with the compass right there. And I don't have north pointing directly up and down, so instead I decided to put a North Star in as a guide. Now here I've grabbed the skeleton tree and I'm stamping that in place, and use the trunk as a guide to measure about the same distance from the trunk to the fold if you have that fold in the paper. If you don't have a fold, you could just measure out 3 equal distances with a pencil on your map. You are creating a doorway with these trees. Now you're going to set the trees in stone, as I say, but you're going to be securing them with a root system. And some of you have already seen some of my other videos where I do this. and you're just bringing them out kind of like an upside down V to create your roots, and then stretch it out till they meet in the middle. There, see? Okay, now we're going to bring in Kanaloa. And here I'm using this really great stencil by Sweet Poppy. And I'm not putting in his head, just his tentacles, that's all I'm wanting. And don't be afraid to flip the stencil over if you want to. If you want it going in a different direction, or you need it in a different direction, that's fine. You can flip it over, you can use both sides. So here I'm just using the same color as before, Acorn by VersaFine, and I'm putting in the details with the brush and placing that down to create some stencil work there, see? And now I'm going to just be putting in some shadows with a pencil, and I will blend them out with the Tortillion blender tool. And there's the Tortillion. This just helps the tentacles pop off the page a little bit. So this is where we're at right now. I mean, you could honestly kind of stop right there or put words on here if you want to, or you can just keep going. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to create the water's edge now where the land and the water meet. You can see by using the ink, there's a natural line already starting, and that's what I follow. I follow the ink lines. I let them tell me where to go. Creates the bays and the inlets, the edge of the land itself. There's a river right there. So no two maps are ever going to be the same. Now what I'm doing is I'm using my Micron pen to go back, putting another line really close to the first one, and I keep doing this. I keep repeating this. The same line just a little bit further away. The further out you go into the ocean, the farther the line gets. Okay, so you can see it there, how I put in like 4 or 5 lines. And now I'm drawing the banner. And that's where you can put the name of your map or the land, whatever you want to write in there. That's your design and your creation. Okay, so I decided to grab this really great little stamp showing some light, and it's a set, so it comes with little mushrooms too. So I got those out as well. I put mushrooms in different places. And make sure your trees and all this are on the land. You don't want any of this on the water. So as you can see, I'm doing all this on the part of the map that represents the land. All right, now you're going to add some color. I'm going to grab my VersaFine Warm Breeze ink, and I'm going to get my detail brush back, and I'm going to be following the coastline with this really beautiful blue. Oh, excuse me, before I do that, I'm going to go around the compass instead. So I'm putting some of that blue color into the ocean and not touching the compass, and I'm not putting blue on the tentacles. I'm going around all that. Now I'm following the coastline with the blue. Anywhere that I know there's going to be water, I'm going to put some blue in there. I'm not going heavy-handed. Remember, this is an old map, an ancient map, so all the colors that maybe once upon a time were bright, they're going to be subdued. These are just some little wavy lines I did in sets of 3 to represent the water, and I'm expanding on the inlets and rivers, branching them out like you would a tree, and they're really kind of similar when you draw them out. Just think of lightning or a squiggly line that's got some bends in it and Y's in it, okay? So here this is where we're at right now. And I decided that I wanted this Titan to be even bigger than I had originally had. So by having yet another one of his tentacles way up here at the top part of the page, can you imagine how massive he must be? Okay, so now we're going to gild the edges. I've just got a gold pen here. I think this is acrylic ink, I'm pretty sure, but it was gold. And you edge it with that. And then I'm going to put down this arch mask by Lavinia as well. These things are great. And that's what I'm going to use to put in the gold polish. Now, I started putting this in. You can put it in any way you want, but you want to just have a light coating on the handle and go in one direction, up and down. That looks so pretty. Now, anything that's left on your little foam brush that's in that handle, you can just go ahead and go around the corners. You could go down the fold lines and just do it wherever, making it look like gold was splattered all over this map. How cool would that be, huh? Find something covered in gold like that? That would be neat. Okay, so the gold's in place. And now I'm going to put in the stag. So I want this gold doorway. Where any two trees meet, there's a doorway. And I want this beautiful Prince stag to come through it and represent all that's good. So I'm going to pick up the stamp here with my stamping tool. I'm using a Tim Holtz stamping tool. Because my map is really large, this stamping tool works perfect for me. Now, I highly recommend you use the Stays On ink, which I did not use initially. And what happened is you get this mottled black effect, which did not make me happy. But if you go in with a Stays On ink, you'll get a deep, dark black. Now, if you don't have that for whatever reason, you can always just put down your initial silhouette and then go back over it with a black ink pen. That's fine too. You'll get the same results that way. All right, well now here's the map. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was so fun making it and making the video and the map. And I hope that this is the start of a new adventure for you. Much love. Have a good day.